right, welcome everybody. Mil-Spec Ops Monkey here. It is Memorial Day, 5/31/21 at about 1:30 p.m. Central Time here, coming to you from great state of Texas. And so, without further ado, let's get on over to our map here. So today, kind of a light day. Obviously, it's a holiday, and so today we should be remembering those that have given all for this country. And so, that said, it looks like we got about 43 up. It's pretty light. We do have an E6. It looks up. Now, I will tell you, we'll go over the TFRs here in just a minute, and I'll show you what we've got up in terms of TFRs. Not too much happening, but we'll kick it around the globe here in a minute, and we're going to look at Europe. It's a pretty light day all the way around, really. Going to look at Flashbang Schedule, and then I'm going to take a dive into Guantanamo Bay and just look at the flight that went in this morning that was out of sequence and see if we can't make some sense of it all. Okay, so again, this one will be a little light. Don't expect it to go long, maybe about 30 minutes. So that said, let's bounce over here to actually let's look at Flashbang Schedule. Now I will tell you, he has nothing showing for today. Monday is off. It's not even on here. And yesterday looks like he's not really doing much. So he was up in his hometown. That looks to have been gone. So I imagine when we look at the TFRs, you guys will see he's not there anymore. So, all right, let me back or at least hit over to that real fast and get a good look here. Now, I think today it was either him or Flashbang that were, sorry, Bob Marley or Flashbang were here in Oklahoma, just because that is a VIP TFR. Don't know who it was. Just know that it's not on the schedule, and because the schedule's not showing, and so. But anyway, that's a VIP TFR that is looks like it's just southwest of Tulsa, Oklahoma. So, all right, now that one. Let me just double check. Yeah, air show. Okay. All right, and as we got some weather moving through here in the center of the state, you guys can see that's coming through. We got a lot of flash flood warnings here across Texas and some of the other areas. But if we look at the TFRs, kind of light. The ones that were down here for air shows have all kind of disappeared. That is a search and rescue still in play down in southern Louisiana. And then we've got this one that is a security TFR down off of Warner Robins. That's space operations here. Little red one's going to be Disney. And that's going to be your Brown Zone or Senior Living Center. This one right here, let me just double check, but I think that's air show too. Yeah, air show. And the last one right out here over New York. And security, which is kind of interesting. But remember, this one here on the outside, outer ring, is air show. So it looks like they've just tightened it down a little bit for that air show. Okay, let me back it up a little. Really nothing else. Got a lot of fires going on out here in this general area. And out here in Oregon, let me just double check. I think that's actually going to be, yeah, it's a hazards. It's fire related as well. And that's an air show out here in kind of the corner there between, I guess that's, where is that anyway? Out there near Reno. Okay. All right, now we back up a little bit. You can see we've got a little weather system down here off the coast of Mexico. And looks like we had some earthquake activity out here. 3 of them, actually. A 5.0, a 4.8, and a 4.7. So, all right. That said, let's back out of this. And let's get over to, let's just see where I want to head here first. All right, let's look at volcanoes. Now, as you guys know, we've had like a week of getting these solar blasts coming through. And I guess there's an uptick in that, right? So, some of you may have seen some radio interruptions. I know it kind of jams up the comms in terms of aircraft tracking and things like that. Now, supposedly there was a CME that took place that was like a 9.4, some kind of crazy number. It didn't come towards the Earth because if it had, it was like a total game changer. It would have definitely been really bad, but it just missed us. So we're kind of blessed. But as those sunspots come around and they release things, I think we're in the season. But with that said, one of the things that we are definitely going to notice when those start taking place is a significant uptick in volcanic and earthquake activity around the world. So as you can see, we've still got this one here, another one here, Fuego. As we move down, we've got this one just popped up. That's new. Now, Sanjay has been going on for a little while. And then we have another one down here and another one down here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we go back out here and over Japan, that's number 7. And then number 8 is here. Now, I don't see anything up here in Alaska or over here. Now, keep in mind, in Iceland, that one, we do have one that's very active, but it's spewing lava and not ash. And then this one in Africa has actually got everybody on their toes because I think it caught a lot of people by surprise. But that one is still spewing quite a bit of ash and quite a bit of lava too. So, okay. That said, still got our 2 Google balloons up here. We'll take a closer look just so you guys can see what they're up to. Let me kind of dig in just a little closer. And my screen is acting a little funky, like it wants to auto move on me. It's kind of weird. But yeah, you can see they're definitely got eyes on something up here. These are no longer internet provider balloons. That ended in January of 2021. And what you're looking at is surveillance is really what you're looking at. And so our government is pretty busy surveilling the American people. And again, here's that one. And you can see the trail location where it's been. So they are kind of in this general area. So if you're up here in the North and South Dakota area, actually that is kind of on the, let me get a little closer in. So this is South Dakota. It's kind of over here in the corner, it looks like, right on the borderline. But yeah, so if you're in that general area, just a heads up, man, you've got some eyes on, and that at about 60,000 feet right here. And this one, as we get over 61,800 feet. So it's up well above air traffic. You're probably not going to see it unless the sun catches it. So, all right, that said, that's going to be our Google balloons. Now let's get over here to Guantanamo Bay, which has been kind of interesting lately. We did have one come in this morning. Now, if you'll notice, the ident on that says CSQ312. That's going to be your H-25 Bravo bird. Now, if we look at this closer, you're going to recognize this is, they tried not to show it as the Maxwell bird, which is N312FU. But I will tell you, as you get over here, you're going to see it again right here. And so here it is coming in today, going into Guantanamo Bay. So it left at 8:07 out of Lauderdale. And man, I would love to get eyes on just to see who's getting on these birds. So if you're in that Lauderdale area and you just happen to be cruising it around the time these things are departing, get a close look. This bird stands out, by the way. This thing is, it's got a very unusual paint job. If you notice that nice silver, kind of metallic silver top, and then it's got the black and then a dark navy underneath the bottom with that red stripe. So it's a beautiful bird, but it definitely stands out. Shouldn't be hard to really catch if you're in that area. But I mean, obviously don't do anything stupid, but I'm just saying, man, it would be something else to really see who pulls up, who gets off and in to this aircraft. Okay. So it looks like today this thing rolled out of Lauderdale and went to Guantanamo Bay. Then it went from there. Now it's headed into St. Augustine, Florida. And then from St. Augustine, it's heading up to Wilmington, North Carolina. And then it's going to come back to Florida. Now, they picking somebody up, they taking people, I don't know. I don't have the answer to that. But this was yesterday, Sunday. Came out of Nashville, went to Lauderdale. Then this morning, it bounces over here to Guantanamo. And then it bounces up to St. Augustine, which is just right up the coast in Florida. So we've definitely have a little uptick in action going on. And, maybe we will, maybe we won't see some, a news release on, who that may have been. But there's definitely some shenanigans happening between that one and some of the others we've been watching. So we'll continue to watch them. There's the other N329MC was another one that actually bounced in just the other day. And so watching that one, it didn't fly today or I'd be tracking it. So, but it also between Lauderdale and Opelika, those are our two kind of watch areas where these guys seem to be going in and out of between there and Guantanamo Bay and stuff. So it's, like I said, definitely one to keep an eye on, but this popped in this morning into the spa. So, all right. Now that said, let's get over to the Phoenix birds. They've been kind of quiet. The main ones that we watch haven't been doing too much flying the last week. Now, this one that's obviously an old Pan Am 747. I pay no attention to that picture because it's not accurate. But now in 540 PA, that one came out of Kansas City down to Atlanta. Again, note that's a PUJ, which is Paulding. And so that's going to be the same as the last bird actually came in. And that returns Saturday. Again, notice where it rolled out of. You got right here, San Antonio. So it came out of Kansas, went to Kelly Field, and then back to Kansas. So it looked like it took somebody back and forth between these locations. And now that was all Sunday. So left home base, went to Kelly Field or San Antonio, and then flew from there to Kansas. Again, Kansas back to Kelly Field. So that's the same as this other bird here down here in was also at Kelly Field. There we go, right there yesterday. So I don't know what they had going on yesterday, but looks like those Phoenix birds are pretty busy. This one is kind of curious now, and the reason it is curious, notice it's en route right now. This bird is one we've looked at in recent days, XA-BAL. Now, I had somebody look that up and actually provide me with the owner of this bird. I'm not going to say names because I'm not going to do that. But I will tell you that the owner of that aircraft, remember I was saying how these aircraft are very expensive. They're probably the best one you can get when it comes to the Gulfstream fleet, right? And so this thing is, you're talking, the owner for this aircraft is a billionaire. Okay, I will tell you that. And what they are doing down here, I have no idea, but it certainly seems suspicious because if you notice, this is where we originally picked them up down here in Midland, but we've got them on Friday. They were back over here in the Springs area, and then they went to Scottsdale. Now they're leaving Scottsdale, probably coming back to here. So I don't know if they've got an operation that they're working out of and they just bought this plane from Mexico. If they're tied into, gas and oil, something. But yeah, normally you don't see these guys kind of flying around. Now, I mean, look closely at this. This is a border town. And I mean, you're talking right here. That's pretty close on the border town. As they roll out and head back and forth, they seem to be going to Scottsdale quite a bit. Scottsdale is a pretty high influential area. That's a lot of money in Scottsdale, and the fact that they're coming in and out of this border town is definitely suspect. But again, the plane belongs to a billionaire, and yeah, a little food for thought. We'll continue to track it, but it looks like that's a pretty continuous way back and forth. So. Okay, now let's get over here to these guys. So what I'm trying to do, if you guys haven't noticed in my SITREPs, is I'm going to start going through and kind of unpacking from we'll look at Flashbang and those guys, and then I want to go into the prisons, and then from there I'm going to go into the prison birds and those related, and then I want to start going into the immigration aircraft, and from there I'm going to go into the spy tech aircraft. And so there's not a lot of spy tech stuff going on today, so we'll be skipping that. But that's kind of how I want to start breaking these down, because I think we're going to start to notice that our government is definitely up to a lot of things. And so now, if you'll notice, this is going to be your Swift Air, okay? Now, Swift Air, they are the ones that are flying all these people. They're basically a charter. They're not, I wouldn't even call them a real airline. They're kind of a, they're not one of the major players. Okay, so they operate as a charter, kind of like Coletta Air or Phoenix Air, or any of these others. Okay. Now their equipment seems to be on the larger side, so they're flying 737s and things of that nature, and where you've got the Phoenix birds, and those guys are flying the smaller, smaller aircraft. All right. That said, notice this bad dude's coming out of Mexico going to San Antonio. All right. Kind of wondering if we aren't just picking people up now and just flying them straight to the border, save them the old trip of walking. Okay. I don't even know how I can laugh at that, but that is just seems like that's what's going on here. We're getting so bamboozled. It's not even funny. So they just bring them right across. That way they don't even have to mess with the border patrol, media, which isn't down there anyway. But they just bypass all that. 35,000 feet. We're just gonna take you straight into San Antonio, where we'll just pull you off the plane, and we'll let customs worry about you when you get off the plane there. And they'll process you and send you on your merry way to basically, you get a dream sheet, probably just like you do in the military, and go, hey, where do you want to go, man? We got great spots in, X, Y, and Z. All right, let's see here. Now, there's that. Now, I'm going to pull up all flights. I'm going to leave it at that for just a second as I look at the other flight as well. And but this one, here's the other one. It's N149XA. Notice that was a day ago, Brownsville, Texas to Miami. So again, border, right? You guys see it. This is right on the border. Okay. Bugs out, deviates from a little traffic, does a little hook, and into Miami, where they offloaded probably, a plane load of illegals. Okay. Again, from Monday, this is Saturday. All right. These things are flying everywhere. Now, let me get back to these live real fast, just kind of show you. This is where they are right now. You can see them. These aircraft, this one's coming out of Mexico. This one looks to be coming out of, no, that's Dominican Republic, right? And then this one is, where's that one coming out of? Well, let me get down here and look at the board, but here's another one and another one, and pretty busy. So it looks like this one, there's our Mexico one. No, sorry, that's not our Mexico one. That is going to be our, yeah, actually that is Latin. So down to Miami, then we've got, that's our international from Mexico going to San Antonio. Bring them straight in. This one's going from Harrisburg International back down to Brownsville. So it looks like that's probably a round robin. So they're going to Harrisburg down to a border town, Albuquerque International, in New Mexico back to San Antonio. Now that's probably where your connecting flight is. So we saw the other one that's going from Mexico to San Antonio, or right here. Willing to bet that this one's going to meet that, and it's going to go somewhere else. It's going to take these passengers that are being brought in here and send them elsewhere. And then, of course, we've got this one, which is Arizona, headed to, looks like Columbus, Ohio, and another Arizona headed to DFW. So let me get back to this one, though. It's America. Let me just double check. I want to look at that one particular flight. Yeah, Dominican Republic. That's right here. I knew. I'm like that. Why does that sound like a Hispanic? But it wasn't. It was just throwing me off. So I should know it better than that. But yeah, there they go. Coming right into here. Now I don't know what that one's all about. I seriously doubt they're bringing anybody out here to the islands. You never know. I guess Haiti would probably be a pretty good little location for them. But okay. So that's basically Swift Air. You guys can see they're flying people all over the U.S. and it looks like they're actually bypassing people from the border down here in Mexico, taking them up into San Antonio, putting them on a connecting flight, and off they go. So, why not just make it easy on everybody, right? Okay, next. This was actually on the news 2 days ago, and it says they're starting to, the media, not all of them are onto this, right? Well, most of them aren't, but notice the local out of Cleveland is calling somebody out in. Now remember, Cleveland's the location where we've got aircraft coming in and out, right? And but it looks like they're pointing out other places. Best defense is a good offense, right? So now they're saying we've got an airplane coming in to Knoxville with unaccompanied minors, and then there's a picture of that. I believe that's actually Swift Air as well. So same airline, but there you go. There's your buses pulling up, which would actually match with what people are telling me as well, because there are folks that send me things showing the same thing. Hey, it was a plane landed and the buses pulled up, right? Okay, now we're gonna break, and I'm gonna take you over to del Fuego prison. Okay, now I'm doing this because I keep getting emails from folks telling me that, hey, you need to go look at this prison location down in Argentina. They're saying that that's where they're standing up a prison not standing up. They've had a prison and people are being taken down there and it's active and blah, 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 right? So we're going to go there and I'm going to show you how these stories are just complete. I can't. All right, hang on. Let me just get a Google Earth view here real fast. All right, this is going to be your prison down in Terra del Fuego. Okay. And as you guys can see, it is really, let me go to 2D just so we can get just a straight overview. But that's your prison yard right here. Actually, that's your prison yard. Really nothing to it. And when I get on the street and I show you, this is just like this. It's not even a real prison when you get closer look at it. It's really kind of a joke. And so this looks to be, this is the police department. This is your I'm telling you straight up 100% when I get down on ground level and I show you this is not a high security prison. And it's where they just detain people and it doesn't look to be much, it's really not much to look at. So whoever's telling us that this is their location, similar to the one in Iceland, when I dug into it and actually had a local go look at it and tell me what they were seeing and if it was, does it look like a high security prison? And no. And then when you pull the thread on it, you find out that it's just it's a women's prison. It's not high security. It's and you get on ground level and you can really tell. So that said, we're gonna go into ground level here, and this is our location. As you guys can see, this that's your prison. There you go. There's your detention center. There's those guard shacks that we were looking at overhead. Remember these right here in the corners? That if you're trying to tell me that they're taking all these people all the way down to the tip of Argentina to put them in this little lean-to of a shed for a prison location. There's your little prison building, holds a couple people back there. And those are, that's the police department we were just looking at beside it. Now that does kind of look like it would be a better fit for a prison, but really not. That's a police department, okay? So as we get up here, you can see that's what you're looking at on that floor. But this is your supposed prison location, which is, just gonna tell you it's, no. There's plenty of other better locations to take people if they're gonna do it for a prison location than take them all the way down to the tip of Argentina to this place right here. Just, it's not, like I said, another bogus story. Somebody's just making things up. As I back out, you can see where we are on the map. Okay. And it's just, no, like I said, come on. You got Guantanamo, you've got XPL Honduras, and then out here off this coast, you've got Terceira Island, and there's probably, you still have Camp Justice out here, and there's plenty of other better prison locations. Not to mention there's a ton of stuff here in the US that you could put them if you really wanted to. But again, it's just going, they're just trying to build up the strategy, things you can't verify. And it's just a bogus story. It doesn't, that, if I went down there and it looked like Guantanamo Bay and I was like, man, that looks like a legit high security prison, or, but you're going to tell me you're flying people, now put them up here and here maybe, but you're going to fly people from the US all the way down here to this tip. I mean, come up with a better story. That's all I can say. Or actually go do your research on the area before you come up with your story, and then at least make it believable. Okay, back over to the US just to see if we've got anything else going on. I'm not seeing too much. There is, now that's going to be an Army aircraft, but I think that's a jump team. Yeah, it's a Golden Knights. So that's going to be there's probably associated with an air show or some kind of Memorial Day activity, but those are going to be that's your parachute team. Okay. And let me see, got another B350 side. A couple guys getting some stick time in for training on a holiday, and another tanker coming out of Miami. All right, it doesn't look like we've got too much actually going on. Now, this is the lightest I've seen it in quite some time. Really, I mean, this is really nothing. Yeah, let me just see what that G, Poland. It looks like we've got somebody from Poland coming into the U.S. Probably going to DC and telling. All right. Okay, folks, that's going to be it. That's going to wrap up our SITREP for today. Now, tomorrow, going to be a little flexible. I've got to go to a graduation for a friend of the family's, and I want to say it's going to run me right over probably around the time I do my normal SITREPs on Tuesday. So it'll probably be later in the afternoon that I get that one in. So just heads up, but I'll post it out there on Patreon so you guys can still jump in there live, but it'll probably be late afternoon one. That's it. You guys be safe, stay frosty. God bless. Monkey out. Check out the latest gear at Monkey Werx US.